yeah, there's a bunch of stuff we can do. We can talk about the rosters first, the roster moves that have been leaked. I'll talk about some of the new roster moves that I've heard about that are not being discussed yet, but that most likely will be being discussed. Also, there's like some like half rumors where like Travis gave like half of the rumor where I can like add more to what like the potential moves will be. But yeah, let's start with the moves that we know. Okay, so the biggest one that we have seen recently, I mean, with the exception of Nemesis being replaced, which this rumor just sucked. I mean, I looked at this and it was like according to Turkish esports media, Esporin, Fnatic will replace Nemesis. Like, dude, anyone could have wrote this shit. I don't think that they're gonna pick up the Fenerbahce mid laner Blue. I feel like they would go with somebody within one of the EU national leagues that's really good, or like somebody on a competing team that's super good. But who knows? Yeah, this rumor kind of sucked. But the biggest one is Alphari, right? Alphari is huge. But yeah, Alphari to TL. So what ESPN released is that Alphari, the deal is finished. The other thing that TL is most likely going to be doing, so Jensen is most likely staying with TL. He was going to potentially like leave, like his contract was up, and there was chances for him to leave, but they got Alphari and Santorin, and part of what I heard behind the scenes was that was like one of Jensen's credentials, that if TL was able to like get them a competitive roster, he was going to be willing to stay. I think Alphari is just an upgrade to Impact. I think Alphari is super good. And then Santorin, big upgrade to Broxa. Broxa's out of TL. I haven't heard any rumors that involve Broxa on one of the NA teams. Maybe he will be on an NA team, but I just haven't heard that he's going to anyone in NA. But yeah, I think that roster actually looks really strong. The TL roster might just come in as the best team in NA. The other teams are really incomplete. There's a bunch of different iterations of the TSM roster. So what I've heard is the most likely top laner for TSM should be Licorice. That should be the top laner that goes into TSM, because TSM is looking to import. There's a couple different iterations that I've heard with import mid laners and then import bot lane. They might go for, like, if they go for a Broken Blade roster, that means that they'll have one less import slot. Spica, I've heard, is staying. And then there's a chance it could be Licorice, Cat Evolved, Spica, and then import bot lane. Or they might just import a support, in which case Doublelift might actually stay on that roster. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. TSM, nothing is finalized. C9, this already got rumored by Travis, which is that Palafox is competing for the main spot with Nisky. It's not guaranteed that Palafox will play over Nisky. They're both pretty much trying out for C9 right now, even though the team's not officially practicing. They're both grinding solo queue, and whoever looks like the better fit will most likely play for C9. And right now it's looking like Palafox is more likely to be the C9 starter instead of Nisky. So with Nisky being available, the two teams that he is most likely going to join, the two teams that I've heard Nisky is most likely going to join, would be Golden Guardians, which would make a lot of sense, obviously. Closer is on that team. There's a chance that Broken Blade could go to Golden Guardians, and you could get Broken Blade top, Closer jungle, and Nisky mid lane with like FBI Huhi. That's already a pretty good roster. So that's one of the places that Nisky could potentially go. The other place that Nisky could potentially go would be Evil Geniuses. So Evil Geniuses is making changes. There's a few changes that they're looking to do. So they want Huni to play. That's one big thing. They want Huni to play. Svenskaren's a resident now. So with Huni being top lane, I'm not sure if Huni is still considered import. I'm pretty sure he's still considered import for like one more split. Either way, they're looking at North American AD carries. So if FBI doesn't stay on Golden Guardians, I've heard that he is likely to join a team like EG. Isn't that triple import? So Nisky might not be import anymore. Apparently there's like some thing where he's getting like his residency, and if you get your residency, you might not be an import. So it's really fucking weird what's happening right now. But yeah, like Nisky to Golden Guardians is a thing. I've heard Hanser isn't going to be on Golden Guardians anymore as well. And Huhi is not import. Huhi's not import either. So like Golden Guardians could be like a full import roster, something like that. Anything about King? So King is having visa problems getting back into NA. So it's like really weird. It's why a lot of the players are afraid to leave. So Fudge is going to be the top laner for C9. That's been rumored everywhere. That's pretty much guaranteed. I mean, C9 released Licorice. You can guess that that's, the reason why they released Licorice is because they want to end up using Fudge. So Fudge is afraid to leave the country because he doesn't want to have problems with re-entry. So he's just staying right now. Why do NA teams keep overpaying for underperforming EU players? Because underperforming EU players are generally better than North American players that are performing well. Players that we have that are like on the top end are still like, you can say Alfari underperformed. Alfari will most likely be the best top laner in North America. In terms of laning, this guy is like, he was the best top laner in EU in terms of pure laning. So in terms of NA, like he's going to smack kids. He's super good. Why is Huni not import? So like, the thing that's so weird about it is because like, so it's supposed to be that before I heard that you had to play 4 years in succession. And now I've heard that somebody like Huni might not be considered import because he played season 6, season 8, 9, and 10. So he has played 4 years, but they weren't in succession. There was one gap in between, but apparently one gap might be fine. I don't know. It's fucking weird because I would assume that he would just need to be import, but yeah, who knows? Import rules are super fucking weird. Any other players moving to coaching positions? Not that I can say directly. I've heard that Golden Glue is out of EG though, so he's a player that could most likely move to a coaching position. Obviously, Bjergsen moving to the coaching position is huge. Should be pretty good. I mean, I think the TL right now just looks like they have the fucking strongest roster. Like that roster just looks insane. Alfari, Santorin, Jensen, Tactical, Core JJ. Like literally the weakest part of TL was the fact that their jungler was super inactive, where Santorin is the opposite. Santorin is a very proactive, smart jungler, goes for good ganks when he goes for ganks. Alfari has the entire champ pool. That's one thing you can never criticize about Alfari, man. Like, he can literally play every champion in the fucking game. This guy's a monster. So those two players moving in makes TL a fucking scary team. Jizuke, I've heard Jizuke has been out for a bit. Do you reckon Surenfire still has potential? So Surenfire is rumored to come to Academy. I can't say where yet. But he's rumored to come to Academy in NA, so he's probably not going to LCS. There's a chance he could join a bottom tier LCS team, but he's most likely going to try to work his way up from Academy again. Santorin is not confirmed though. He can't even talk to TL yet. Yeah, he's not super confirmed. I've heard it's like very highly likely. I've also heard that that FlyQuest is blowing up their roster. That FlyQuest is just like it's everything is everywhere. 100 Thieves. So 100 Thieves is one of the teams that is searching for an AD carry. So I guess what's happening is that 100 Thieves is dropping Cody. So we'll see if Cody actually finds a spot. Where's Broxa going? I have no idea. I have not heard of Broxa going anywhere yet, but maybe he joins one of these teams, but I haven't heard anything about it. Shurn's at Genji. Yeah, I mean he's just playing solo queue in Korea, and yeah, he's just at Genji's facility, but he's coming to NA next year. That's what I've heard. Opinion on Fnatic leader. I don't think that leader would ever get picked up by an org like Fnatic, because leader's not proven enough on, like, he still has the same flaw that people saw in him when he was in LCS in 2019 or LEC in 2019, which is that he has this like lack of ability to play control mages that a lot of people see as like pretty much a the main reason why this guy isn't in LEC is because people don't trust him on like the Orianna, Azir, things like that. And people say that he can play them, and then that's like, one of the things that he's worked on, he's shored up. But when you ever watch leader play big important matches, even like EU Masters, it feels like this guy is always on Kassadin, Sylas, Lucian mid, for example, which is like more of like the aggressive style mid laner. They don't know about his potential as a like control mage backline player. Oh, by the way, do you see this rumor? This rumor, oh my god. How bad is this team? Astralis, oh wait, it's all in Spanish. Wait, is it in Spanish? Yeah, it's in Spanish. Alright, whatever. Point is, Astralis signing Zanzara, Jessica, Promiscu, and keeping Nuke Duck mid. How bad is that team? This team might get 11th out of the 10 teams in LEC. That's how bad this team is. Like, they might not even finish top 10. It's actually fucking crazy. Are there any rumors of Sneaky playing next split? Yeah, there's a ton of rumors. The most The most likely place that Sneaky's gonna go is Dignitas. Nah, this team looks pretty bad. I mean, so Jessica and Promise Q, I'm pretty sure that's the bot lane for Mouse, right? I'm pretty sure that's the bot lane for Mouse. Zanzara, like the way I remember Zanzara, like who remembers the fucking, he had this like, so the way that I knew this guy was for this Trundle flash. So they don't have it on YouTube. He made this play where he started red buff on Trundle, and I think it was a pro game. I think it was like EU Masters or like maybe the qualifiers for EU Masters. He started red buff, and he walked, and he knew that there was a ward in Pixel, like enemy red team warded Pixel, and he's playing blue side Trundle, starts red buff, and then he flashed the dragon wall, went into enemy blue, and stole the enemy blue, and ended up like getting like level advantage from it. But that's such like an alpha play. You know how most champions like Graves, Kindred, they just dash this wall and they double buff you? In Italy, it's a very common path. He did it on Trundle with his flash, man. This guy is fucking incredible, man. This guy is too crazy. It's on Twitter. You can link me. Yeah. Link me. I'll permit you. So mid lane rumor is TSM possibly evolved. Yeah, it's possibly evolved. It's possible import too. Hold on one second. Any EU rumors? I've heard like a lot of things that are, so the ones that we know are the rumors about Mad Lions, right? So Mad Lions is supposed to get the Spanish jungler El Yoya or whatever his name is, and they're supposed to get the Turkish top laner Armut for Mad Lions, and then we've heard that Astralis, which is Origin, it's Origin just like rebranded. I mean, they've been under the same umbrella company the entire time. We've heard that their roster is just complete dog shit. Like they just decided to just blow everything up. Also, like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's so much talent in EU. I don't like the fact that Nukta keeps on getting recycled. I feel like for me, it reminds me of how NA treats some players. Tagged you in it on Twitter. Oh, the Zanzara play. Okay. Here it is, dude. Here's what I was talking about. He just did it, bro. Look at this Galaxy Brain pathing, though. It's too crazy. It's actually too crazy. What other jungler do you see path like this? This is how he got into LEC. It was just this pathing right here. He did this one time, and they were like, all right, fuck it, dude. Bring him in. Bring him in. Let's have him be the starter for one of the teams that has no chance of going anywhere. Oh, what else do we have? So Immortals dropping Xmithy. So we'll see where Xmithy ends up going. He might not actually have a job next split. It seems like so Xmithy is actually supposed to be really expensive. His contract right now is really expensive with Immortals. If he gets picked up, like he is most likely going to get dropped from Immortals, so maybe he'll sign a lower contract, but most likely this guy wants to get paid. So yeah, I think that it's really rough to pick him up. Most people would just rather take risks on like rookies and things like that. Also, Dardoch is starting for Dignitas. The thing about Dardoch starting is like Dardoch actually is like very cheap because no one wants Dardoch. Like you remember what Lena said, man, no one wants him. And like that was kind of true, even though it was like super fucked up to say that on a stream. Like obviously it wasn't intentional, even though it's a fucked up way that we heard about that. It was actually kind of a fact. Like so many people are sketched out by Dardoch. Even last year, I mean, no one really talked about it. There was rumored a bunch of issues within TSM, like that he was just, same old Dardoch. I know Biofrost described it at some point, like a lot of red energy, but TSM really undersold how much internal conflict there legitimately was within that roster, mainly coming from jungle. Dardoch is actually like super cheap, whereas Xmithy, you're gonna have to pay like double or triple what you could pay for Dardoch, and it's like, is the difference between Xmithy and Dardoch that big? Obviously, Xmithy is going to be like fine in a team environment. He's going to be somebody who's good to work with, etc. But what you're going to get out of him. And the only place he really slots in is into like a roster that you want to be like a championship roster where you already have a lot of good laners for him to play around, and he can just kind of like get by with just making intelligent decisions throughout the game. And those teams are limited positions. It's like, so what team would you rather have Xmithy on instead of Santorin, Or like, if you're TSM, you're going to stick with Spica. If you're C9, you're going to stick with Blabber. And that's probably already like your top 3 teams in the league, right? Assuming that FlyQuest actually blows up, the top 3 teams in the league will be TSM, C9, TL again. And then after that, it's like, are these other teams like, so for example, if you're 100 Thieves, are you going to go with Smithy as your starter when you have contracts already and you have Kenvi and Academy. Like, you already have jungle talent lined up. Why are you going to go for, like, the old guy? So, turn off this flash. It hurts my eyes. Dude, it was a Smurf flash.